This was once a Christian-dominated area located in Dikwa, Maiduguri, Borno State. Look at the place very well. If you are yet to leave your comfort zone to visit this kind of villages in the northern part of Nigeria, you will not be able to know what Christians are going through. You will not be able to know the kind of persecution that Christians are facing. When we said villages are being wiped out, this is what it means. This is how it looked like. A lot of people were killed here. A lot of people were displaced by these Islamic terrorists. We were once in this place for a mission outreach. But look at how the place is now. Look at how the place is now, as if people have never been here before. And there are a lot of villages like this that have been completely wiped out by these Islamic terrorists. A lot of people were killed, a lot were displaced. Look at how the place is now, as if people have never been
tonight
here before.
And of course, another dark cloud loomed over the Nimbo community in the Uzuwani local government area of Enugu State as Fulani headsmen reportedly launched a fresh attack, leaving behind a trail of death and destruction. The latest attack, which occurred late Sunday evening, has claimed several lives, many others critically injured. According to sources, the headers descended on mourners at Ugu Ijoro Nimbo community, leaving tears and sorrow in their wake. Eyewitnesses recounted the horrifying event, stating that the invaders caught the villagers by surprise, opening fire indiscriminately at the mourners. Videos from the scene depict a scene of chaos and devastation, with tables and chairs strewn across the compound where the mourners had gathered. Lifeless bodies lay in pools, the blood showing the brutality of the attack. The Nimbo community has once again been plunged into mourning, with many residents fleeing to neighboring communities in fear of their lives. This recent attack has left the community in a state of shock and disbelief as they grapple with yet another senseless act of violence. This is not the first time the Nimbo community has been targeted by Fulani headsmen. In 2016, the community was similarly attacked, resulting in the loss of many lives. The invasion of Ukbabi Nimbo community in April 2016 sent shockwaves across the nation, drawing widespread outrage. The attack, carried out by over 500 armed Fulani headsmen, targeted 7 villages: Ekuru, Nimbo Ngwoko, Ugu Ijoro, Ebo, Enugu Nimbo, Umome, and Ugu Achara. Scores of innocent villages were massacred in what was described as one of the deadliest attacks by the Fulani headsmen, a group ranked as the 4th deadliest terror group in the world. Well, joining me to discuss this further is Umadi Nadi, a pastor, an accountant, and a public affairs analyst. Good evening, sir, and welcome to the show.
Good evening, amazing.
It's a very sad one for Enugu State today, waking up to this sort of news that happened on Sunday. But bring us up to speed with the recent sad developments in Nimbo community of Enugu State. And if you do have the history behind that clash, do let us know.
I don't really have total information except the ones that the media like you give us. So it was Sunday yesterday that I began to see the news all over social media, and then it was confirmed when eminent Nigerians like the senator representing Enugu North, Senator Eze, wrote about it on his social media handle, and even the former governor of Anambra State, in the person of Peter Obi, wrote about it, and so that was how I was able to confirm that it is true. And then I began to hear about it from news media like you. So, but it's a sad one. It's a sad one, and it keeps occurring at that community. So it's a very sad one.
Right. But at the moment, what should be the government's immediate response to this? Well, this evening we saw statements by the governor saying, well, enough is enough. Do you think his intervention was timely? And is there something that the state government can do before the federal government probably deploys help? And this is owing to the fact that, of course, constitutionally, the first state government will have to take some permission from the federal government before security architecture is deployed. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yes. Well, I love what the governor said, but I just would like to match action words. Saying enough is enough is good, gives the people confidence, but beyond giving the people confidence, he needs to match it with action because it's not today. Yes, I understand the security sector of Nigeria, where the federal government controls everything. However, something like this has been happening, and state governors have been able to do one or two things to be able to solve the situation. I would love the Mr. Governor to understand that he is the chief security officer of the state. Now, that understanding will help him to begin to understand that he must take proactive action, because he must understand that the indigenous don't know IG of police, the indigenous don't know the commissioner of police, the indigenous don't even know the president when it comes to security. It is him, the governor. So having said that, so that understanding is key. Having said that, my advice is for him to use local solution. Yes, there can be local solution which he can have these local people and then equip them and then work with the police. Something like this. We have a similar situation in Anambra State during the time of former Governor Peter Obi. I can remember vividly, Opiweka was a no-go area then, and something happened. I would love him if we can do that, to call on him to ask him what did he do. It was such that even the then Inspector General of Police declared Anambra State the safest state in Nigeria for 5 consecutive days, and the IG of Police said it was because of Peter Obi's effort. So there are local things that have been done by a sitting governor. And one of the things that he said he did is that he said he worked with the police and he equipped the police. And that becomes very important. So number one thing I would want Mr. Governor to do is, I'm just quoting what the former governor of Anambra State said he did. He said he worked with the police and he realized that the police in the state was ill-equipped. And he said he equipped them with whatever they needed. So I would also suggest that Mr. Governor of Enugu State to work with the police, let them ask them what do they need. If it is equipment, he should provide. He shouldn't wait for the federal government. I saw some vehicles that he bought, and those vehicles are good for the metropolis. The police might need things like van. So I don't know, but these are things that he has to do, work with them, and then know what they do, the equipment that they need. It's shocking that I was listening to the former commandant of Federal Road Safety Corps in the person of Osita Chidoka recently. And he made a statement. I can quote him. He is there on one of the interviews in a TV station. And he said that police officers buy their own bullets, and that police officers buy their own uniforms. I mean, how can they be working when they are the ones buying all those things? So this is where I expect Mr. Governor to come in and then help the police, equip them, and also however he can motivate them financially, because it is already known, is known that our policemen are not properly taken care of. So these are things that I believe that the governor should do. And then number two, one of the things that the former governor of Anambra State said he did was the issue of working with the community. Okay, so I think our law allows for some sort of community vigilante or something. He said he equipped this vigilante, he bought them vehicle, and then he equipped them with ammunition and with a communication gadget. So this is something that I also will think that Mr. Governor has to look at. How will he equip? Because the truth of the matter is, nobody will secure a community more than the people of that community. I'm telling you the truth. So I will expect Mr. Governor to be able to set up such community security. Most importantly, equip them, and then with what they need, vehicles, ammunition, trainings, and of course, they have to work with the police and the military. So these are things that have come to my mind, which the former governor of Anambra State said that he did, and he worked. And I will also, the third thing I also want him to do is the former governor of Anambra State in the person of Mr. Fïřê. I am talking about what has worked. I will also encourage our governor to maybe liaise with him, ask him what he did. Yes, it may not be exactly the same, but he can have one or two things to gain from there because it worked. I knew how a worker was, and I know how it is now. So, and I can see how it works. So I will encourage you to also talk with him to see one or two things he can gain from me.
All right. So of course, let's talk about allotted grazing sites. We know that some of these areas in the rural communities, it's probably there's so much of arable land that's probably very good for the cattle, you know, which is maybe the point at which they hang around the bushes right there all the time. What are your thoughts on allotting grazing sites? I know the Ruga conversation came up, and of course the governors didn't want that. Do you think that if they allot the grazing sites to these people, that this will solve the problem, or this is just a multi-billion industry that's just blown up into something really terrible, where people can go into a village and strike on people who are already mourning and then cause more mayhem on them?
Okay, I don't have any problem with people having ranches. You see, but my problem is that this is a private venture, or it's a private business. I think the Enugu state government should stand its ground and enact the non-open grazing law. Okay, so I do business outside Enugu state. If I go to Kano, for instance, I look for shop, I pay for my shop. If they want land for grazing, they should come, get land, buy, and then do the ranching. That is the issue. So they should, these cattle businessmen, our people also rear cattle. We rear goats. I grew up in the village. We had goat pen where we keep our goats. I want to appeal to our Fulani brothers that you know that this is 21st century. Okay, there are certain things that may not work anymore. Maybe you should work those days. So I don't support any form of government bringing any land and saying is for ranching. Okay, so they should be able to buy land and do ranching. If I want to set up a company, I will be able to buy land or lease land and set up my company. I won't go to Kano State and tell the governor of Kano State to dash me land to build my company. I won't go to Lagos State and tell the governor of Lagos State to dash me land to build my company. Okay, so if these are business people, if they are Nigerians, they are free to do their business anywhere. So if they come to Enugu State and they want to do their ranching, they want to do their business, and they see an arable land, and they liaise with the owners of the land, and the owners of the land can lease the land for them, so be it. I don't have any problem with that. Okay? There's no problem. They are Nigerians, they are free. That we have freedom of movement in Nigeria. They can live anywhere, they can do their business anywhere. But they should know, these our brothers, that the cattle, those that we also rear cattle in Nimbo land. We rear cattle, but we don't carry it around. So they should realize that this is a private business. Okay, I will not encourage the governor of Enugu State to bring out any land from any community and give to anybody in the name of ranching. I will not support it at all. It is a private business. Like I said, I'm not saying that the Fulani or outside should not have ranch in Enugu State. No. But they should come to Enugu State, they see land, they negotiate with the owners of the land, whether by lease. After all, they have places they sell cattle in Enugu, and they lease those land. They lease the land. I have one for artisan, the one of Gariki. Those lands are individually owned. and they have agreement with the owners of the land, and they are doing their businesses there. And you and I know Amazing Grace, nobody is disturbing them there. I go there to buy cow when I want. I go there to buy goats when I want. Nobody is disturbing them. But because it's a private business. So they should also do like that if they want to do cattle ranching. They should come in and then get land and do their ranching, but not government giving them land. That is my take on that.
All right, as we begin to wrap up on the show, there's a recent attack also in Benue State. I want you to give us your perspective on that.
Yes, you see, the issue of Benue State has become something that is very worrisome. And also, if you notice, the thing is coming from Plateau to Benue and then to Enugu North Senatorial Zone. It's a serious situation that I will encourage. I will encourage the governor of Enugu State to work with the governor of Benue State and also the governor of both Taraba and Plateau. They should sit down and because if notice this is the exit they are coming from. So I expect the state governors to sit down, and because if they curtail them from Benue, for instance, you'll be surprised that it can also be curtailed in Enugu State. So it's the sort of what is happening in Benue that is also coming down to Enugu State. So I will encourage our governor to talk with the governor of Benue State and also go further to even Plateau State so that they can have an lasting solution to this problem. So that is what I have to say.
Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us, Umadi Nadi. This is a developing.
Breaking news. More trouble for Nigeria as another top U.S. congressman joins call to invade the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. Hear the news in details. Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world, you are welcome once again to Biafra Unite channel /television this very moment. Today's date is 16th of November 2025, and I have a very important information for every one of you listening to my voice right now from wherever you are all over the world. Biafrans and lovers of freedom, I want you to pay very good attention to this very news because it's very, very important. I can assure you, my people. Another senator from United States of America has joined call for the inevitable invasion of the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria by the U.S. military to wipe out the terrorists and save the lives of the innocent Christians in the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. So without wasting any further time, we are going to read this news in details from one of the zoo media platforms, the Daily Post Nigeria, and after that, we will analyze it. And according to their headline, it says, Trump threat, Nigeria, one of the deadliest countries, U.S. rep. A fresh warning has been issued by the United States as another American lawmaker voices concern over the escalating attacks on the Christians in Nigeria. The warning comes from Congresswoman Nancy Mace, who said the situation is growing more dangerous with each passing day. Mace, in a statement released on Friday, stressed that Nigeria has become one of the deadliest countries in the world for Christians to live. Yes, the truth is coming. I want them to include the situation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is one of the most important things right now in the entire Zoological Republic. And the most important thing for the entire Igbo race. The situation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is even more critical than every other thing that anybody is talking about in the entire Zoological Republic. Is more critical both for the government and for the citizens. In fact, what makes the situation more critical than every other thing, even more than the oil now, is because it's a win-win and lose-lose situation. You understand? The zoo doesn't want to lose and Biafra cannot lose. So it's a win-win and lose-lose situation for every individual on so many different perspectives. You understand? But I don't like the way they try to, outsiders are trying to play down on the matter, because this is the most critical matter in the zoo for all people. I don't want to go deep into it, because the zoo releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu being in the custody or even imprisoning him, these are lose-lose and win-win situation for all people. So it is very critical for America to ignore. You understand? I know I don't want to go deep into it because this is not a live broadcast. I don't want to take time. Now, she noted that the pattern has persisted without any decisive response from the current U.S. administration. The lawmaker also faulted former President Joe Biden for changing America's approach to the crisis. You see, I said it last time I was on live broadcast. The zoo was a country of particular concern in America. It was recorded. Then Joe Biden came as the president because of the massive and financial support given to Joe Biden during his campaign by the federal government of the zoo under Muhammadu Buhari's administration. They did them a favor by removing the zoo from the countries of particular concern in America. So the moment Donald Trump came back in power, he returned the zoo as country of particular concern. And it shouldn't end there. There should be a lot of sanctions, not only on the politicians of the zoo, because they are all terrorists, but also on the zoo itself. There should be a heavy sanction on the zoo for violating all the international treaties that they entered on the human rights. They have violated it all. And America and other world powers shouldn't be paying deaf ears and turning blind eyes on these very critical matters. Nigeria has violated all the internationally recognized human rights laws. They have violated it, both within Nigeria and outside Nigeria, and shouldn't be taken for granted. That is the reality. Only country that will go outside the country and kidnap somebody, extraordinarily rendition him to Nigeria, and stand to try him in a law court. You understand? So look into it, America. According to her, meanwhile, President Biden removed Nigeria from the country of particular concern list. You see? Did I lie? I never lied. To be honest with you, we are reading this together. I haven't read it before. I only saw the headline and decided that yes, this very news is worthy to be broadcasted. You understand? So now you can see. She praised President Donald Trump for taking a tougher position on international religious freedom. I love that. I love what I'm seeing. In her words, President Trump is working to reverse those decisions. 45/47 remains one of the most consequential presidents in American history. You see, that is Donald Trump. 45/47, which is Donald Trump, right? Her remarks come at a time when discussions in Washington have intensified over how the U.S. should respond to claims of targeted unaliving and persecution of Christians in the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. Now it is in the open that America is taking this very matter very, very seriously. They are not joking with it. They are not really joking with it. And the zoo is in a very precarious moment. The situation in the zoo at the moment is very, very critical, and this is the time to act. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is battling it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is fighting. He has taken this matter to both Supreme Court and Appeal Court. He has also sued Nigeria Medical Association, NMA. You understand? So, because of the fake medical result that they used in court to deny Mazi Nnamdi Kanu the opportunity to go to the hospital to take care of himself. Imagine in a situation whereby the Nigeria Medical Association, which is supposed to be an independent body on its own, bowing to pressure by the zoo government, the murderous Nigerian government pressurizing the Nigeria Medical Association to write a fake result over the health of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu just to keep him in perpetual suppression. Now, I want you to understand the situation here. Why I'm talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because this very news is about America and Nigeria. So why I'm talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I am bringing it to their notice because this should be the thing taking center stage at the moment in world politics. The situation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu shouldn't be taken for granted, shouldn't be swept under the carpet. As you talk about the Christians in the zoo, include the treatment of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu there. He's a Christian as well. A Christian man kidnapped all the way in Kenya by Buhari's administration and forcefully brought back to Nigeria, trying to try him in the court and jail him illegally. So this type of situation shouldn't be allowed by states, by countries like America, all these world powers, no matter the influence of Britain, because I know that United Kingdom is the one pulling the strings, not even Nigeria, because Fulani on their own do not have the capacity to trample an Igbo man under their feet. They don't have the capacity. So it is Britain pulling the strings. So no matter the influence of Britain in Committee of Nations, America as world power should stand firm, should stand on what is right, should make sure that the human rights laws across the globe is respected. Stop sweeping this under the carpet, because this is going to blow up. This is going to blow up, and if it blows up, it's going to affect everybody. It's going to affect all countries in the world. It's going to blow up big time very, very soon. Thank you, my people. To salo numozia and make it go viral.
Boko Haram should lay their arms unconditionally and be accepted in the community. Opportunities are out there for them. They can be rehabilitated. An ex-Boko Haram stands having laid his arms and comes back, turns his way away from his negativity. He stands to be a president of this country. He stands to aspire to any position in this country. Why is he wasting his time?